Hey, I'm Overseer Chandler, and I welcome you to the Marvelous Light Ministry online broadcast. Listen, I'm telling you, you don't want to move anywhere from where you are right now, because worship is going to bless you real good. I don't care if you're on the Facebook, if you're on YouTube, wherever you are watching, I promise you the Lord is going to speak to you today. So you stay connected, you stay ready. Tell the dog stop barking, the cat stop meowing, and let's get ready to go into the word of the Lord. There's a healing, and it's got your name on it today. Get ready.
Hey, this is Elder Thor. Listen, what are you doing Sunday mornings at 9 a.m.? What, drinking coffee? Eating a little scone? Maybe some tea and crumpets? Whatever you're doing, however you're enjoying your leisurely Sunday morning, why don't you dial in? The information's at the bottom of the screen and join our online, on-call Light Academy Sunday School. That's right. Since we've been in COVID-19, Sunday School, we have not missed a Sunday, and our numbers grow each and every week. Listen, I can tell you right now, I get a weekly report of the ones that are calling in and how long they stand, and our engagement is more on the phone call than it was when we were in the sanctuary. What does that tell me? That people, even during this time of being away, do not want to be away and removed from the Word of God. So if you're not too busy, in between that second cup of coffee or tea or whatever it is that you're sipping on, join us for Light Academy and our Sunday School. Stay safe, stay blessed.
Hey Light family, I just wanted to remind you that November 7th here at the Light is our monthly pantry. So please tell anyone you know who needs a blessing or wants to be a blessing to someone else. You can come out and volunteer, or you can come out for essential things that you need. So join us here at the Light November 7th for the pantry. See you soon. Hey Marvelous Light friends and family, welcome to another worship experience here at the Light. We are so excited you chose to join us today. We know there's plenty of options out there, but you chose to worship with us, and we are truly grateful. Thank you for sharing this message. Thank you for all the watch parties, the hearts that you throw up, and the comments that you leave every week. They mean a lot to all of us. We love to see you interact, and we ask that you continue to do it throughout the service. October was amazing as we celebrated our man of God. Now, it's November, and we will continue to do so. I just wanted to say thank you to all of those who showed their love, offerings in ways that were in gift form or blessing monetarily. We appreciate everything, and thank you for participating. For ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation. We are a peculiar people that we should show forth the praises of Him who have brought us out of darkness and into His marvelous light. Here at Marvelous Light, we believe that God's minimum expectation is excellence. Therefore, we strive for corporate, personal, spiritual, and financial excellence.
This is Elder Thor, and I'm back with another Did You Know? Hey, did you know that the last thing that a drowning man needs is swimming lessons? Yeah, that's right. The last thing that a drowning man needs is swimming lessons. Listen, I don't know if any of you out there are like me. I'm to what they call aquatically challenged. Never really learned how to swim. And swimming lessons is something that I've always wanted to take. However, although I can't swim, it doesn't prevent me from enjoying outdoor water sports. I fish, I go to the pool, I go to the beach, so I'm not afraid of the water, but I'm the type of person that if I got in too deep, and if I found myself not be able to touch bottom, I might need some help. But the last thing I would need in the moment of drowning is lessons. Why? Because the lessons don't do you any good when you're in the midst of a drowning situation. Well, the same can be said with the law and scriptures and how we apply them. So we have to understand that the law that was given in the Old Testament, it was given to a dying people or a drowning people. Christ comes in the New Testament and He tells us, here it is in Galatians 3:13, Christ hath redeemed us from the curse of the law. what did he do? He came to modern day drowning, dying man, and when he saw that the law was of no effect and it couldn't save us in our drowning condition, Christ said he rescued us from the poor effects or the weakness of the law. My brothers and sisters, what I'm trying to express to you today is, during this time of still sheltering in place, where many churches right now, because the COVID-19 situation hasn't gotten any better, we're still virtually streaming many of our services. What does that mean? There's less contact with people coming into our churches, but they still need a word from God. People are still drowning right now in this season, and we're not talking about just COVID-19, but people still have the issues of the flesh, still dealing with temptation, still dealing with bitterness, still dealing with envy, still dealing with so many issues in life. Guess what? They're drowning. And you know what they don't need? They don't need to be beat up with the law. They don't need swimming lessons while they're drowning. What do they need? They need the love of Christ. So my brothers and sisters, what I'm asking you to do, as you go out from your homes and your daily occupation, traveling to the grocery stores, some who still have to go to work, our essential workers, when you run into a person that may be dying, may be drowning, greet them with the love of Christ. Share with them from a place of compassion and sensitivity. Also says in Galatians 6:1, it says, "Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of" what? "Meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted." We can never get so high and mighty, we can never get so short-sighted or frustrated with the conditions of suffering men and women that we get to the point where we greet them, but not in the love of Christ. So remember, my brothers and sisters, it's not just quoting scriptures and throwing them at people sporadically, but it's entertaining them with the love of Christ, that same love that drew you and I in. And according to the truth of the gospel, now you know. Well, as always, my brothers and sisters, family and friends, stay safe, stay blessed.
Greetings, family. It's Doc, and I'm here with your medical moment. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about, yep, you guessed it, the coronavirus. But more specifically, we're going to talk about testing. I think there have been some misconceptions about testing, so I just want to clear the air about in regards to COVID testing. There are two primary types of testing, one being diagnostic, and that's the one that you hear most of. We now have the ability to do it with the nasal swab, and even now with saliva, which is much less invasive. These tests test for the antigen and or specific proteins related to the coronavirus. So what does it mean if you test positive for COVID-19? That essentially means that you do have the coronavirus. You've either been exposed or have it, and with or without symptoms. What does it mean if you test negative? Good question. There's still a 20 to 30% false negative rate. What does that mean? That means if you test negative today, there's a 20 to 30% chance that you could still potentially have COVID-19 and the test just didn't pick it up. That variation comes because we have to make sure that we get good samples. If you get a part of the mucous membrane that the virus happens not to be in, then you'll test negative. So a good example of that is that if somebody has symptoms, everything that points to it, all the major symptoms, fever, shortness of breath, horrible cough, and they go in and they test negative, that doesn't mean they don't have COVID. That just means they had a negative COVID test. So that being said, let's move on to what's even more important to me. Testing and testing positive or negative for COVID is only a moment in time, in particular with a negative test. Let me explain that a little bit more. If I go down and test negative today, that means at this moment there's no virus picked up in my system. Does not mean that in 24 to 48 hours from now I could become infected and sick or either asymptomatic with COVID. Why does that happen? Your body has to have built up enough antibodies for the test to pick it up. So don't let a negative test cause you to let your guard down. We have to continue to wear a mask, continue to social distance. And I would encourage everybody to behave like you have COVID. Behave like you're an asymptomatic carrier. Protect those around you. This comes into play, as I mentioned in another commentary, that as we begin to gather for the holidays, some people are saying, well, I'm just going to test negative. If I'm negative, I'm going to go spend time with my grandma. Don't do that. The only way that's valid is if you completely quarantine for 14 days prior to your negative test and then go there immediately. That's the only way it's safe, and most of us can't do that. So those are some details about testing for COVID. If you have any questions, shoot them to me. I'd be happy to answer them. Stay safe.